know what he said to me? He was like, "Are you black? Because you just stole my heart." You know what? At the end of the day, I'm just a girl with a microphone. I said I was gonna come back, and guess who the heck is back, y'all? I was gonna make this like weeks ago, but I started working my part-time job for the summer, and they want me clocked in every fucking day. I'm letting you into my world a little bit with some questions that you guys asked in 2025. December 2025. I'm sorry. You are on my ATs towards the light will to power bank / flashlight. Does it still turn on? I don't know. So that would be a no. But yeah, we have a couple questions here and I'm going to answer them to the best of my ability. Let's talk, let's chat, let's have fun. Okay, first question is, if you could go back in time, what would you tell your freshman self? I would tell her that it's gonna be okay. I think when I was going into college, I was scared as frick as much as I was excited. I have made so many good friends. I have had such good experiences that I would not trade for the world. And also just relax. Like, stop getting mad. I feel like I have the shortest temper known to man. Is that because I'm a Sagittarius and you know I'm an optimist? I still do get mad a lot. Sometimes validly, but sometimes a little invalidly. But I would say control it. Control it. You're 21. Like, control it. Well, back then I guess I was 18, but the biggest lesson I probably learned in college, I feel like it's fake it till you make it. I usually have no idea what is going on or what I'm doing, but if you have the confidence and you present yourself as if you know what you're talking about, everyone is convinced that you know what you're talking about. I've talked to people that I thought had it all figured out and they were telling me they don't even know what's next, and I was like, oh? Like, what do you mean? And try everything. The biggest lesson I learned is when you try things, you get connected to people you never thought you would get connected to. And I mean that, like, seriously. That's like my mindset going into senior year, is like, try everything, apply to anything. And hey, if it doesn't work out, at least you put yourself out there. I'd rather that than be like 80 years old going, what if? By the way, speaking of 80 years old, Dolly Parton just died today at 80. So maybe that's why 80 came into my mind, but what? And my mom was like, well, I wonder if anyone ever hated her. And I was like, probably Jolene. But other than that, that woman was like a bundle of joy. And she's mother or grandmother. You know what I mean? Could not believe that. So RIP Dolly Parton. How do you make friends? Because I'm failing miserably at that. Honestly, I just talk. Sometimes I insert myself. The one thing that eats me up is I always feel like I'm bothering people because I try to insert myself in those situations. I guess I kind of just take a step back. I would like to say I'm pretty likable, but not in a kind of narcissistic way, I would hope. But I think for some reason I get along with quite a wide range of people. Even if we're not like super close, I can like hold a conversation, we can have small talk. Also, I want to emphasize the importance of keeping up with people. If you are separated physically, it is so important to keep those connections, whether it's online, making a phone call, whatever. I think a lot of the times, especially in college, when you're going for your summer break, that's when you really realize that the people you are connected with on your campus, they live so far, and all of a sudden you feel like you're so separate from them, and then you fade off, eventually because distance, you end up having your own lives and stuff. So I always emphasize the importance of catching up once in a while, going to eat, going for an outing with these people that you don't see as much anymore. And I kind of base my friendships around that. Like, if I'm willing to make time for you, which is precious, time is precious, and you don't even make the effort, I feel like for me that's a big thing. What would you do if you so he said yes would go? I don't know what you mean there, babes. How to get internships? Honestly, internships and ambassadorships are kind of the same thing in my head. And so I do have a couple of ambassadorships under my belt, as well as partnerships with brands and things like that. It'll come up on my feed generally, or I would find out through a friend. Like, for example, I'm going to be a Good Molecules campus ambassador. I'll be getting all the freebies and the PR and just sending that email, sending in that application, building that portfolio. I feel like a lot of the times I have gotten roles for things, it's because of my portfolio, which even to this day I don't really like, but just having something to show for yourself, I think is like important. Favorite thing about college is the opportunities and the people and the location. Honestly, I am a UCLA glazer. I'm sorry. I've always wanted to live in LA. There's always things to do. As someone who lives in a small town outside of the Bay Area, and I'm at that place in NorCal where it feels like a journey to get to SF. When I'm home, I'm kind of just working, and none of my friends are in my remote area or my general area, because they live where I went to high school, which is like across bridges with toll and stuff. So I love getting to meet celebrities, and one thing about UCLA is people for some reason are low-key used to it, but every time I see a celebrity here, I genuinely freak out. Like I really freak out. I try to keep it calm and collected, but what do you mean I'm in a theater with like people I used to watch when I was little? How are y'all normal about that? Like, I know they're human beings. Yes, I know they're human beings, but girl, it's Zendaya. I love the spontaneous things you could do when it comes to college. This is the only time in your life where you get to live with all of your friends in one general area, like a walk away. And so you're partying in apartments, you're going out to dinner, doing club stuff together late at night. You're seeing each other when you're walking by, like when you're walking around campus, which by the way, you would think campus is huge, but you see your friends quite often. And it's such like a nice thing. And being in LA, you're like next to the beach. A UCLA resource you swear by? Honestly, none. Honestly, when I think of resources, I think of things like financial aid and counseling, and none of those have worked for me. I have fought with financial aid for as long as I can remember because they suck at responding. They'll hand you over to like a student who doesn't know what they're doing, and I'm like, so I might as well be at that damn computer myself. Same thing with counseling. I had scheduled a counseling session, I think 1 or 2 weeks prior to it happening, and then they had the nerve to tell me the day of that she's on vacation. So SZA. So I wouldn't say I swear by any of them, but there are a lot of cool student orgs, I guess. How to focus on all online classes. I am a cafe enthusiast. Go to a damn cafe, go outside, touch some grass, changing your environment. Because one thing about me is I can't really study in places that I'm comfortable with. If I'm sitting here trying to do my work and my bed is right here next to me, consistency is sometimes not good in the sense that you will feel stuck. And if you need your brain to expand, especially if you're learning new content, go somewhere. In the nicest way possible, go somewhere. Best way to save money in college, I spend. Not gonna lie, I budget so crazily to the point where it would be like every year I would make money in the summer, and whatever that was, I would somehow disperse it over the 9 months that I'm in school, and then by the time it hit summer, I'm like dead broke. And I didn't work in the summer of 2025 because I was in Korea. I don't know how I think it was like a scholarship that I had gotten, but like not spending too crazy. This past spring, because I was in a dance group, we went out to eat a lot, and that's when I was like, money's looking a little tight. It's looking a little tight. Now I'm working, so, you know, never broke again. Word to NBA Youngboy. But yeah, I think just like your priorities matter, obviously. Like, don't go on shopping sprees if you know you're unemployed. Like, come on now. Dorm or apartment? I was so scared to go to an apartment, but when I tell you, it was probably one of the best decisions I made. There's so much more freedom with an apartment, but also with that comes a lot more responsibility. But hey, if you can't clean at your big age, it's like, at least for my scenario, I used to live in a triple in the dorms, and then I was in a double when I moved to apartments. So I love it. We had like a barbecue grill outside. You could host parties without, there being too much RI intervention. If you love to cook, hey, props to you. You have your own kitchen now. You have a living room where, people can gather. In the dorms, you're just gathering like on the damn floor. So yeah, apatu all the way. Favorite stores to shop at? I do like Lukin. I like the jeans I've gotten from them. If you want some basic pieces, I think Uniqlo's pretty good. I had a shirt from there that I literally lost. I was so pissed. But yeah, don't sleep on your discount stores. Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, those have some cute clothes. I think they're getting in with the trends now of Gen Z, and so their stuff is pretty cute. I got this top from Ross actually, so don't sleep on it. Hold on. It ties in the back. Can you see this? It ties in the back! But yeah, I'm kind of blanking right now. Those are like the ones that just came to mind. Oh, some of my go-to pieces though, like my jorts, they're from Korea, and then also like my little off the shoulder kind of vibe. But other than that, my favorite store to shop at in terms of regular stuff, I really do like Miniso for their blind boxes. I am in my Skull Panda phase right now, and so I do have quite a few of these. I also surprisingly like getting little knickknacks when I can from small businesses. So I got this crocheted coaster that was a soot sprite, and I bought it mostly because I had just watched the movie for the first time the day before I went to this market, and this girl was selling these, and I was like, wait, because I just watched this and you did this for me. Yeah, it's so cute. I think it's this way. Thoughts on club cest, friend group cest? Honestly, it's just unfortunate when it doesn't work out, because then freaking everybody's awkward. So I would probably avoid it, because it's really just like gambling. It's gambling in my opinion. Hit or miss. I guess they never miss, huh? And not to go into too much detail, but not my group specifically, but my ears were open and I was listening in, and I was shocked because it ruins the whole dynamic. I don't think people realize that, but you fucking the brand up. Like, so yeah, I'd avoid it. Advice on maintaining long-term friendships: you give stable, dependent queen. So I would say making an effort. A lot of the times people don't make effort, and to me that's like everything. So if that doesn't align, I think that's why a lot of friendships that I wanted to be long-term don't work out, because people just think they can talk to you constantly for this amount of time and then go ghost until you meet in person again. And it's like, okay, like I know people like that because then you can catch up with one another, but I can't go months without talking to you and then just be really close again. Maybe that's the thing. I don't know. We're gonna work through this together right now. I don't know. I just like the closeness with people. Is that crazy? People don't like calling nowadays, so I don't offer to call, but any other form of communication I would very much appreciate. I'm glad I give stable, dependent queen, but I have had friendships end that I do feel like was my fault. Sometimes I'd be going through something. The thing is, if I'm going through something, I'm either very outwardly mad or I have kind of pivoted from that and have decided to just be not really self-isolating, but like self-isolating until I feel better. Because if I go just about my day as normal and people, you know, there's some people that are really stable in their emotions. Like I said, I get mad a lot, and so I used to just very outwardly take that out on other people, and so I have opted to just kind of giving myself a day or two to not really do as much talking, you know, be in my room a bit, watch a show that I like, you know, just ground myself again instead of taking it out on other people or giving them the silent treatment, because I hate silent treatment. Like, I know that that's very childish, and so rather than silent treatment, I kind of just remove myself from the outside world. It's giving like 2-day quarantine, you know, vibe, which I think is also just not healthy as well, because you can just outwardly say, hey, I'm not having a good day today, and I should low-key start doing that more. At least what I love about my roommate, she's very understanding of this, I would hope, maybe, potentially, but I think she has gotten used to me doing that. It's one of those unspoken things where like she knows today is a day that Sheila's not going to want to talk, and she just kind of gives me my space, which I appreciate. So this is a little Annie appreciation for the video, but yeah, I do appreciate that she allows me to have that time, even though I feel like I've never outwardly told her that, hey, I'm doing this because, you know, today's just not my day, which I probably should, like I said, be doing. We're working on it. 4th year, we're working on it. Sometimes I think about it though, and that communication constantly, and I'm not saying it's like every day, but I just hope it's not overbearing to people. That's my main concern, I feel like, when it comes to that, because I don't want to be that person that's like, you have to text me all the time, we have to hang out all the time, because that's not the case. We all have lives. I'm aware. Yeah, let's go live it, but also let's see each other once in a while. Is that a crime? Is that a crime? If you could share a message to a large group of people, what would you tell them? At the end of the day ends. And you might be like, girl, that is the stupidest thing you have ever said on your channel. But let me explain. I feel like the fact that we are perceived by people, whether or not we post or whether or not we're just out and about and doing our own thing, I feel like we're hyper aware of the fact that we're being watched. And even though that does worry me, I refuse to let that be something that cripples me. And so at the end of the day, we're all going to die. We're going to be in the ground. And I refuse to let a dying me die with the fact that I never tried something out. Like I said earlier, try everything. Rejection is better than never having tried before at all. And so at the end of the day ends. Talk to that person you might want to talk to. Buy that thing you might want to buy. You only live once. That group may never tour again. That artist may never have a tour again. You may never have an experience like this again. Do a lot of things like it may be your last time doing it. Life is so short, and we're not guaranteed a full life. We're not guaranteed a Dolly Parton 80-year-old life. You know what I mean? I try to live it as if it's very precious, which it is. I like to make everything exaggerated. I like to go on adventures. I like to do spontaneous things. I do it tired. I do it happy. I do it sad. I just do it. Like Nike. Is a situationship worth it? See, I am a coach, but I'm never playing. And so, hell no. The thing about situationships, from my understanding, is like you're putting all of this, you know, physical commitment sometimes, mental commitment, you know, time commitment into a person that doesn't want to commit to you. And I know it might be a you decision. It might be like the person wants to be with you, but you are kind of on the fence about something. I feel like, I guess it depends on what you prioritize in your relationship life. But to me, it's not worth it if it doesn't lead to something. Like, I like my life having a conclusion to it. Situationships lack that conclusion, And to me, it's not worth it. Maybe the next person may just want something casual, and then in that sense, yeah, it would be worth it. But I'm a lover. Guys, I watch guys, I read books like romantasy type, like Fourth Wing type. I watch K-dramas. I'm watching Shonda Rhimes content. Do you think I would like a situationship? Let's ask the audience. Right? So yeah, to me, it's just not worth it. And you may be like, oh my gosh, but the things we do are so fun and, you know, they make me feel special. But then why won't they commit? Ask yourself that question. If you're the one that wants to commit, you should be asking yourself, then why am I putting myself through this with someone that doesn't even see my value enough to want to commit to me? Does that make sense? To me, it's just no bueno. Like, we're gonna get to a little bit of the deeper questions. How do I know when to drop out / whether my major is for me? I think psych for me is very broad, so I kind of dodged a bullet in the sense that I will never feel like psych wasn't worth it to me, because not only do I find it very interesting, you can bend and twist the rules of psych to make it fit any narrative you want, and I think that's what I love about it. And so I do want to go into the marketing route, which you may be like, everyone is pre-med, pre-health, okay, I'm gonna do my own thing. Word to Miles Morales. I've sometimes had that thought of, hey, maybe I should have done like communications because I want to go into marketing. But psych is one of those things like, hey, if I ever want to go like the medical route one day, that's always an option for me. In terms of ones that are more stable, in the sense that there's a route kind of paved for you, like with biology, you're going to the medical for most people, I would assume, or like food studies or animal veterinary stuff, I would assume. Same thing with like chemistry and engineering, like those majors that are very specific. I feel like the courses you're taking reveal whether or not your interests will align with it. And in that case, effective immediately, you should probably either pivot or find an area you do like in the topic that you're studying. Because at the end of the day, most majors still have a little bit of leeway. And I know some of the classes you're taking might be daunting, but I think in the end, it's one of those things that'll just be worth it to you, especially if it's really what you want to do. Don't let those classes that are hard deter you from what you originally found passionate and what you probably wrote your college essays on, because they will try to kick you down before they pull you up. So just take a little bit of the beating and then get back up, because you are where you need to be, especially because you picked it and they let you in. If you feel like you need to actually like just fully pivot, I would say just do it earlier rather than later, because first of all, college is money, college is time, college is effort, college is very short. So you have to kind of do it with no regrets. If you want to change, do it with no regrets. If you want to stay, do it with no regrets. So whatever your heart is telling you, you gotta compromise with your mind. Relationship ins and outs. I'm like the worst person to ask about this, because I am a hopeless romantic who has been through quite literally nothing, and by nothing I mean nothing good. And I want to tell you guys, this is where the story time comes in. I sat here one day and was like, what is it? Because I know I have a very, I would say, get along with a bull. That is not even a word. Personality. Like, I get along with people very well. I would say I'm relatively on the cute side. Like, I'm not ugly. I know that for a fact. I'm doing pretty well in school. I have my own like little niche interests. I don't know. I love to share my life with the world. I have like a decent amount of friends. I think my life is just very balanced. But when it comes to relationships, I'm just like stunted growth. And so I was thinking, like, why is this the case? One, it's not even that I avoid men. It's like I started thinking back to high school and the things that happened that probably made me at first very avoidant of men. One of which I won't talk about, because that had to do with like me actually having to report someone to my principal because of what was done to me. The other one is one that I can tell just because when I look back on it, I'm like, what the hell? Like, and who is you? So it all starts with volleyball, right? I loved volleyball. I loved it so much to the point where I would make my dad stay in his car and tally the boys' like scores for volleyball at my high school. I'd go to their away games. He would follow me to my away games, stay in the car, wait for me. And then I felt so bad to the point where I joined JV once, and I was a junior in high school. That's how much I wanted to like be in volleyball, right? I loved the sport. And of course, watching boys volleyball, I was like, okay, they're cute. Like, two birds with one stone. But sometimes when the boys would be practicing, I would see boys basketball practice as well. And so I liked this one guy. We're gonna call him JD. Did he look like Jonathan Davis from Outer Banks? Well, no. He had a friend. We're gonna call him Chase, because JD and Chase Stokes. Let's just stick with the Outer Banks. Outer Banks just dropped, mind you. And my friend liked him a lot. So we would see them kind of often-ish. And obviously we had some classes together. We would actually talk on FaceTime, which I never used to do, at least back then. He's a guy that I would hang out with like pretty regularly. As a like 14, 15, 16-year-old, of course it's like, okay, I want to see you. So homecoming rolls around. And this guy, let me tell you, first of all, he actually watched a C-drama. I don't know if you guys know the C-drama Meteor Garden, but the main male lead kind of used to like bully the female lead low-key. And then they got together, which is like kind of realistically is like dumb. It's like dumb. But we both watched the show and I was like, oh wow, like what a coincidence. But then I realized he was like trying to act like him, which in turn led to him like low-key, high-key bullying me because he liked me. And I know, guys, I know this, he never actually said it, but I know he actually did like me because there's just no way, right? You know, weeks go by, I'm letting this happen, right? I'm still going to his basketball games sometimes. I'm going to his practices. Mind you, no one stays to watch practices. Practices are just for like the team, you know? So I was sitting there because I knew the coach coached volleyball and basketball. You know, the coach knew me. And so I'd watch his games. Homecoming rolls around and he's like, are you going to the dance? And I'm like, yeah, duh. I'm such a friend girl. Like I love my friends. And so I'm like, yes, I'm going with my friends. It's gonna be so fun. They have their dates. I was just never the type to be asked to like homecoming and dances and stuff. I've never, I guess, attracted guys in like the most calm way possible of saying that. And it was never something that really bothered me. But this specific situation bothered me because it's like, you didn't even have to do that, right? So he's asking me, are you going? Are you going? Are you going? I'm like, yeah, I'm going. And I can see it's on the tip of his tongue. He wants to ask me to go. He keeps asking, like, are you going? Like, what are you wearing? All this other stuff. And I'm like, why are you even like asking me if you're not like confirmed to be going? I kept asking him if he was going. He was like, oh, I don't know, like probably, maybe. Then I remember the specific day he was in the weight training room. I don't know if every high school has that, but he would be like lifting weights and I'm sitting there like watching him because obviously I'm not lifting no damn weight. And so we're still talking about it. This is the day of the dance. We took the bus together because we had the same route to go home. And so he was finally like, you know, like, I'll see you there. And like, you know, I want to go with you. You know, let me know when you're there, call me, whatever. And I'm giddy. I wasn't even planning to wear anything cute or like do makeup or anything like that. But I put in a little bit more effort than I would have normally, right? Just to go back to the few days before this was happening, he was always asking me, like getting my hopes up. He was like, oh, I might go, I might not go, you know, kind of like teasing me about it. And I'm like, okay, like just let me know. So fast forward again to that bus. He's like, you know, get ready, I'll see you there. I'm about to get mad all over again, mind you. I get to the dance. I'm there with my friends. We've taken photos and everything. He's still not here. It's been like maybe 30 minutes to an hour since the dance started. And I'm not seeing him. And I'm texting him, where are you? He's like, I'm getting ready. I'm coming soon. Da 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 da. He finally calls me when I'm in the dance. I pick up. I'm like, where are you? And I'm looking at his location, like just from the background of the FaceTime. And it looks like I'm seeing like a house. And I'm like, so he doesn't look remotely ready. He looks like he's in pajamas. And he's like, psych, I'm not coming. Hi, you thought? In the middle of the dance, he does that. He's in his pajamas, not ready in the slightest. And he's like, psych, you thought I'm not coming.
And guys, what's crazy about this is he would literally be like, oh yeah, I'm like around the corner. Like he was trying to convince me that he was in the building.
Like, you just walked the prank type. And do you guys know how quickly I hung up that phone? The crazy part is I didn't even let that ruin my day at the dance. And so I just had a blast despite that. But when I went home, I was like, this man like led me on, essentially. Not even man, this boy led me on for like an entire week saying, you know, I want to go. Turns out, so for these dances, you needed a specific like GPA and you had to have paid for a ticket, right? This man's GPA wasn't even enough to go in the first place. I dodged the biggest bullet of all time. But it's just the fact that I had never put this much effort into showing a guy that I liked him, I guess. Like, I would go to all of his stuff. We'd be FaceTiming. You know, we would go to football games together even with like friends and stuff for the most part. He would like give me his jacket sometimes because those games were like cold and stuff. In my head, it's like the closest I've been to almost dating someone. I feel like, even though high school, middle school kind of romances don't seem that serious, for me it was just because this is the first person that like kind of showed interest in me. And so this is kind of like a sad story, but it's just the fact that he led me on for that long, FaceTimed me and was like, I'm not coming. I hung up and I never played and I never spoke to him again. Homecoming is like halfway through your school year, I believe. I didn't talk to him the rest of that school year. And then I remember specifically the next year which I believe might be like sophomore, junior year, he tried to come up to me in the hallway and he was like, hey, how's it been? You look good. I said, and who are you? Oh my god, I didn't give him the time of day. You play in my face like that, I am not giving you the time of day ever again. It was like so upsetting that like to this day I'm so mad. I'm so mad. And so I go into a lot of, I guess, talking stages very, not really guarded, but avoidant, I guess. I do love, like I said, to talk. My ideal relationship at my big age now is to just meet someone organically. I've tried dating apps, guys, and I talk too much to the point where I either get like ghosted. I've ghosted too before. Let me not act like a saint. I've ghosted before too. But for me, I talk a lot, and to keep someone's attention for that long without seeing them, it's like, okay, it's obviously gonna fizzle out, and you're not like calling, you're just like simply texting. It's not gonna go anywhere. And so I have always believed in the power of a referral from a friend. However, my friends, every time I say that, they're like, oh, but my guy friends are like not boyfriend material. I feel like if I had guy friends, I would want guy friends that I would be happy to introduce to someone else. You know what I mean? So to me, that kind of throws me off, but hey, maybe they just know how you are and they know how this other person is and they just know you wouldn't be compatible in the first place, but then like just say that. I don't know. Just let me know for real. But yeah, I do believe in the power of a meet cute. I do believe in the power of chivalry. Nowadays, men don't want to be chivalrous. I was watching Love Island this past summer. Casey didn't want to do what Carl did every time. It's good to know men like that actually do exist, but Carl to me is one in a million. Like Sabrina said, the good ones are deceased or taken. But yeah, that is the story of how I was traumatized by a guy that I liked. So yeah, honestly, in my whole college career, they say that this is your biggest dating pool, but literally nothing has happened to me. So I guess I'm just meant to be a lover girl that listens to songs and watch movies and shows that are about love and like know everything about love, but never be in a relationship. Will this change? The world may never know. Things that happen when you're little, they really do stick with you, and they stunt your growth in certain ways. I feel like I'm a catch. I really do. I really do think like I am a pretty decent human being, I would say. And so when I do find someone that will appreciate that, I will love them unconditionally. So until then, we are single, potentially ready to mingle. I will see you guys for my next video, which is going to be so exciting, guys. We are so back. I am not leaving you guys, I promise. Yeah, thank you for watching. Bye. I cannot focus on anything, on anyone but you. Okay, mic check, 1, 2, 3. We're back on YouTube.